Hi, this is Ben from Turn Sounds. If you want to survive a nuclear blast, hop in a refrigerator. Welcome to Just Keep Walking. This is a podcast focused on the Walking Dead universe. Today we're talking about 2 episodes because we missed last week. We're talking about episode 4 and 5 of Dead City. So thanks for tuning in. My name's Ben, joined today by
Isaac. Hello.
And
Liam. Also, hi.
Hi. And Liam's got a very big smack on his face. He's got a new sound effects keyboard.
I do.
Him and Isaac know what we're in for, but I've got no idea. So I'm with you, the listener.
The listeners may not know this. I did ask Ben this I think it was off mic the last time we recorded. I said, hey, look, in one of our other shows, Astromech, he has had a Michael Jackson keyboard, amongst other things. And, it's all fun and games. And so I asked Ben, can we have a little silly keyboard for an episode or two? And Ben said...
Sure.
Yeah. Well, to hear it from his mouth.
Yep, there you go.
And so Liam is in charge of today, the Michael Scott keyboard.
Okay.
Give us a bar.
You're kidding me! God!
There we go.
All right. Well, so we've got a very special episode today, a Michael Scott themed episode. We'll, as always, have some Toy Story references in there. So I think we're going to be in for a treat this time. Full spoilers, of course, so yeah.
I'm spoiling here.
Yeah, there we go, that's it. And let's just dive into it. We'll probably go a little bit faster than usual because we've got 2 episodes to cover, but yeah.
Wow, this is tough.
2-hour show, baby.
Spot on. All right, so we start with a surprise flashback. I wasn't expecting anything like this. Friend Simon tuning in. What do you think about that? Yeah, Isaac.
Well, full disclosure, Liam, in Ben's absence, Ben's been a busy bee. Liam still managed to make it over last Monday because we wanted to watch together. Well,
nice.
I didn't want to watch a scary zombie show by myself, so I was like, something about that. So anyway, so cue this flashback scene, and Liam and I both sat forward in our chair. And we're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, the palms started rubbing together, and we're like, okay, this is for once a flashback I can get behind.
Yeah, 100%.
And what lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah. I was like, Simon's going to get a great little moment. He had maybe 2 lines of dialogue, and they were just kind of random. Yeah.
What a gun show, though. He's been lifting weights or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the dude is jacked.
Big guy. Although that does make me think, I guess, if they didn't use him much here, that we might get another flashback potentially. Maybe. See what happens.
I like that hopeful line of thought. Yeah.
Stay optimistic.
So. Yeah.
I miss Simon. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was at the very least just a nice little surprise, nice little bonus add on there. But actually we've gone a bit out of order. I should have asked you guys what your overall impressions were, because that's how we usually start off. Liam, how about let's talk about last episode and this episode. How did you feel about either or both?
First I was afraid, I was petrified. It is because I hate him.
There we go.
Oh, who? The Croat?
I definitely dislike the Croat, but both these episodes were pretty lackluster.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Same, bro. We hate to be sticks in the mud, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
this whole show has been a little bit of high swings, like the start of this episode where you're going, wow, look at what they're doing.
Sure, yeah.
I've got notes on beautiful cinematography throughout the whole this episode and the next. A lot to discuss about the most recent one we just watched, but this one, especially upon scrubbing through it a second time, not
sure.
Okay. For what should have been a big moment, the whole stadium scene.
Yeah.
Unleashing all the walkers, and they're walking into a trap, and how's this all happen? Really, the stakes were all there, and yet, underwhelming.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, more or less the same here as well. Probably I enjoyed these a little bit more than episode 3. I guess we've got 1 episode left now. I'm pretty sure it's 6 episodes total. So, I guess at least as far as episode 4, with like you said, the stadium, the whole thing, at least stuff was happening. It felt like the plot was moving forward, even if it didn't hit as hard as it should have. But it just the whole thing. Yeah, it's just not particularly grabbing. You kind of forget about it straight after you finish watching it. But that's all right. It's not. I'm not like clawing my eyes out, sort of thing, you know. So it's okay. But that's about it, really. Hey.
Pretty much. For this whole series, I feel like we needed to be treated a little less stupid in some scenes and like outright say obvious lines out loud in other scenes.
Sure.
Like, can I jump forward just really quickly?
Course.
For this whole stadium scene in this episode, when, they walk through, where is everyone? Oh, they're not here. Like, then the music starts playing and then all of a sudden these walkers come through and previously he's had this whole scene showing the girl how to like play the thing and this is how you do the thing. You needed him like over the intercom saying like, welcome to, my sanctuary or whatever. Please, sit down, make yourselves comfortable. Like really let us know that he knew that they were coming. And then in the next episode we can find out how exactly did he know.
Sure.
Because it otherwise just felt like they were waiting in case something happened.
Yeah, that's right.
So
why did he like? Because he was teaching her. Oh yeah, I guess he was expecting them to come, but it felt like just a random scene of him teaching her how to use the CD player. And like, that's good timing. Who knows? Bit random.
So yeah, just again, dialogue. Give us more dialogue, exactly explaining what it is we're looking at and how it's relevant. I feel I would have forgiven so many more things.
Sure.
Like we talked about it before, yeah. Have your characters acknowledge exactly what's happening in the scene most of the time.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of, I guess, acknowledging what's happening, but yeah, we left episode 3 with Negan killing that guy, and then they were sort of looking for him for 5 minutes. And like, oh, well, can't find him. He's an adult. He'll sort himself out. Let's move on. And then he's never mentioned again. So, I mean, I guess that Maggie did find that the tiger balm, whatever it was.
Beeswax.
Beeswax. I don't know.
Tomato.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So there's going to be something there. Hopefully that'll come back. But again, that's just kind of one of those things that's like, it feels like it didn't really go anywhere. You're kind of wondering what the point is of a lot of it. But yeah, that's all right. We're just kind of scrubbing through the episode pretty much straight to the stadium. Hey, we've got the whole...
To pepper in some things I liked.
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
So the scene you just passed, Maggie's talking to Negan the story about the guy upstairs learning the harmonica and like annoying her son and everything and all that. There's like a harmonica playing in the background during that whole story. And I just thought, nice touch.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. Nice.
Random, but it fit.
Cool. Liam, you jump in with any notes as well? Or
I've got
Michael
notes.
Scott still?
Wait a second. There's going to be something here.
Yeah, well, maybe next time you will estimate me.
I love it.
The whistle was nice for that to,
Yeah.
straight into the microphone.
It's like you angle it, Pete.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It is kind of grasping at straws a little bit. I guess, there's even just the choreography. This is more to talk about for next episode, I guess, but there's a lot of scenes where it's just kind of a bit clunky, the stakes of it and where people are positioned. So particularly in the next one when they're running through that empty sort of courtyard and the walkers are surrounding them, and then they're sort of 10 meters away and then they're suddenly right up on them, and it's just kind of, it doesn't seem like it's been particularly well staged or thought through. And so we've got this scene as well of Negan kind of hiding behind the cars and sneaking
that
around.
was a good bit of like tension, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. But at the same time, I guess for me, it was like, you would 100% spot someone in that car.
Yes.
And how would he suddenly sneak away from behind the car without anyone seeing like his shadows under it? Yeah. All that kind of stuff. But I guess so definitely, when they're fighting off all the walkers in the stadium and they go into the wrestling ring, whatever you want to call it. Is there a name for that?
Depends on the company or
the company. Wow.
I'm not necessarily company.
I didn't
organization.
sign up for a cage match.
Yeah, a lot of people or organizations call it the cage. UFC, it's called the octagon.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that is an octagon shape.
Makes sense. I don't call it a circle.
Yeah.
In ONE FC, they have a circle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There you go.
no jagged edges, just a complete circle.
Fascinating. Oh, do you want some
Which is
audio?
weird.
I'll turn
boxing
it off
is
for
kind
now,
of a
but
ring.
we can turn it up in a second. So yeah, I guess this is one of the things, and we can talk about this a bit more next episode as well, where the budget was starting to really stand out for me. Probably you guys as well, but that is like, it's supposed to be hundreds and hundreds of zombies, but then it's just like one layer, just enough to like surround the thing. Particularly because we've seen stuff like this, like with the chain link fence and all that. It looks exactly like the prison when there are all the walkers pressed up against the wall there, and they had a great system. Maggie was there doing that, stabbing them through the fence, and so I was like, oh, that's easy. Like, that's not a unmanageable amount. Like, just do that and then go out. But they obviously, for the stakes of the scene, had to like do this big escape with shields and that sort of thing, which it kind of felt unwarranted because they couldn't afford to have enough extras on set as zombies. And same with some of the takedowns. Like, I don't mind the lack of gore necessarily when these people, you know, are getting swarmed and eaten, but it's like every time they would just get taken down and then the camera would move away or they would be covered. And so it's like, oh yeah, you just didn't have the time and money to show someone getting killed and ripped apart.
That raises a question. Didn't, in one of your interviews, someone mention that the reason they finished The Walking Dead was because it was they'd signed contracts, and it was all around budget. So everything moving forward, they would hopefully have a bigger budget. Was that not the vibe?
I think it was more so just that AMC could keep more of the money, so
Okay.
you'd hope they would reinvest that into the shows, but
Because
they do make some strange decisions, those guys.
The budget on this is glaringly terrible.
Does seem that way. I remember you saying that while we were watching that very scene, like you can see where the budget is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me to
suffering.
pick up on that, that's not something I would pick up on.
Because
generally.
quick shift forward
Sure.
into the next episode,
Yeah.
I'd say the budget looks amazing as far as like all the piles of bodies, and we'll talk about the horrific thing that we saw later. Quick note on please cut me off if this is
Go for it.
Wait, I know how to do that.
Okay, whoa, stop it!
I'm gonna toe this line very
all right.
but it was a point of much hilarity to me. So
Really?
you've got the Croat, who's
Yeah.
like some Slavic guy, I think we heard, and he's got like this accent. He doesn't quite know all the words, and so he can't really say Negan properly. Like he's going Negan all the time, and like he like chops and changes like we have at the very start, like in the flashback scene. He goes Negan, we did it, like, you know, and you're like, oh, so you can say Negan. All right, and then in all of these, he's calling, going, Negan. But at one point, he's at the bottom of the stairs, and you could swear he said another word that was a unpopular word.
Oh, wow.
And
Maybe that's why Pearly called him my
I'm
brother.
a victim of a hate crime.
yeah. So, like, I don't quite understand why they've decided to go that way with his accent and everything, but
Yeah,
it's like he's so, like, all over the place with how he says it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want a soundbite? Or probably not.
Oh, from the episode,
Yeah.
you mean? Yeah, sure.
I mean, you've got it there. Like when he's at the bottom of the flight of stairs and he calls up.
Oh, right. It's just before this, hey?
Yeah, just before he sees Negan at the top of the.
Oh, I'm going too far
Yeah.
back now.
Should have burned this place down when I had a chance.
Yep. Oh, there you go, right there. Oh no. Oh, one back. Ready? You see?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not good.
Like, why are you okaying this?
Yeah.
Like, you could say Negan. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't play it again.
No.
Okay.
But one thing though that I did want to point out here, there was one point where the music stood out as being kind of cool. I think it was just here. So it's kind of the main theme, if you like.
Almost has a Stranger Things vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hear that little duh, duh, which is like the savior whistle.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Ah,
Benjamin.
Yeah. Good spot.
Wow.
It's all kind of subtle stuff.
Very good
But
spot.
yeah. Yeah. I did think the one where he yells down at him. I'll see if it's him. Negan!
Yeah,
that was crazy. Negan! What the heck is that?
He's a bit
Detracts from the
eccentric.
show,
He
right?
goes all out.
It just feels so unnecessary. It pulls me out of the show a bit.
Well, this is kind of like what I was talking about last week. Like, if we accept that he's bonkers, that he
Sure.
has no, and we learnt again in the most recent one that maybe there's a bit more going on. But like, yeah, that he can't be reasoned with. He's just a bit all over the place. So yeah, you accept a bit of crazy talk from him like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he lowers his gun almost straight away, it's like, you're not going to shoot me. We're all pals. Like, you know, you
Yeah.
blew off my ear, so what? You know, I've got
Yeah,
another ear. Like, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That was, as far as episode 4, that's pretty much all I had. Did you have any other notes
Let
that
me
were
just
written down?
hip fire
Yeah,
these
sure,
or like
go for
nail
it.
gun fire these or
Yeah,
whatever.
safe.
This very shot actually that we're looking at, the over the shot of the Croat to Negan, I really like that. I like that Negan is standing there just silently, like just smirking, not really
Yeah.
talking. Only line that he says is like Lucille's gone or something, or like referring to the bat. When Maggie and the crew are walking through the tunnels and we get the first look at like all of the decrepit zombies on the ground, I like that one like lifts its head, but you can see it's pretty much only like bones and rib cage, and it's got like no muscle left on it.
Sure.
And so it's like too like broken down to even move, so it just like rests its head back down on the tracks. I was like, that's true, because if you've got no muscle left, how are you gonna move at all? So
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
it's been there so long that yeah. Another quick scene on the Quiet. So he's teaching this girl how to load the CD and everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then he like turns out like, you nervous? Like, are you afraid of me? And it's like, she's all like, of course she is. She's terrified of him. So what does he do? He doesn't like take a step back and say, look, I know I'm a bit scary and, you know, my ear's blown off. I do all these crazy things, but, you know, get to know me. None of that. He like kneels down in front of her, puts his hands on her knees and just like, you know, you have no need to fear me. And it's just like, like just, no capacity to be able to, you know, connect
Sure,
on a human level and see that this girl's petrified stiff. Yeah. So I just,
Yeah.
but it's funny because my grandfather used to do the exact same thing. He'd like grab you by the shoulders really, really like,
What are you worried about?
yeah, pretty much. You know, you didn't want to go down the slide at the park. He'd like grab you and be like, you know, everything's fine. Everything's okay. And yeah, different. Just, yeah, he's Lithuanian as well. So
Oh, there you go. So there's some element of reality to it then, I guess.
I guess, but no, I'm not saying that's the way to do it though.
No, sure.
So yeah,
There is, I guess, some of those things that makes you question, and that's the kind of thing here where it's a bit hard to draw that line of like, is the character supposed to be crazy? Is the acting just a bit weird, or is it written in a confusing way? Like, it's kind of hard to tell what angle they're going for. And so maybe it's supposed to be a mystery, but it doesn't seem like it. Yeah.
They missed the best chance ever to play Easy Street in the stadium instead of whatever.
Oh, yes.
Like, because, you know, he was... Oh, I don't know if the Croat was there in the other Savior's camp when Daryl was captured and everything. Maybe.
Not at that
I think-
time, I don't
yeah.
think. But
Not that we saw, though, but maybe. Maybe it was him that said, hey, play Easy Street. You love it.
Yeah. My favorite song.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, yeah, Wish Shane is what I'm calling him.
Oh, yeah.
We know exactly who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. 'Cause it kind of does look a bit like Shane,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm still calling him Billy Zane. but,
Oh, that's... Yeah.
halfway between the two.
Yeah, his fake out death. I was so sure that
Yeah.
nothing. I actually thought he got bitten and was classic, like, oh, don't touch my backpack because there was like a bite mark on his shoulder. Or
Yeah,
something like
that was a very good prediction.
It was wrong. It was very wrong.
Wow.
Oh, and then the final thing, as I was scrubbing through this, and this for me is like the dumbest bit of the whole episode, which is kind of one of those like, are we stupid? Like, to you? Do you think
Okay.
we're the showrunner? I was saying to Liam, and here it is, Liam. So they're walking along, the group, Billy Zane guy, his girlfriend, and Maggie.
With Shane.
Yep. And they're trying all these doors in the hallway. Walkers are closing in. Oh, here's one. We found it. Opens the door, shuts the door behind them. And then they push this big red, gas tank in front of it and everything. And then what do you know? The gas tank starts to shake and move like the door is about to be swung open and everything. The door latched shut behind them. It's not like it was some like pantry door that was just free on the hinges.
Yeah.
It actually latched shut into the door frame, which means that it was not only the lock mechanism, like I'm trying to frantically explain this, but it shut against a frame.
Oh,
So
sure.
not
yeah.
only would you have had to like split the whole lock open and everything, but then the door frame around it, plus the tank that they've like propped up against it, like there's just not that much force in the world. So this fake threat all the time of they're still coming through.
Sure.
Like shameless Star Wars plug, but
No, go for it. We need more of that.
yeah, I don't know. This-
Yeah. Wow. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
10 points for the next Star Wars tie-in that actually like really works.
Okay.
Does
Did that work?
That
I thought
worked.
it was,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the whole epic like looking into the camera as you like walk slowly down the ladder into the darkness and everything.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
the forbidden sewers that we dare not go because of we don't know what's down there kind of vibe. Like I think that's what it was supposed to say, but I just I didn't feel it. I was too annoyed
Yeah.
by the door and by the everything else.
Sure. No, that's fair. Hey. I mean, I guess to an extent I can forgive stuff like the door because, like, I could see how you'd write that in the script and get to the location, realize it's not the right type of door, and it's like too late to change it. Or, like, I don't know that it's not necessarily laziness, which some of the other things definitely are, but yeah, still, like you said, it pulls you out of it, which is the main problem. With a lot of these little logical error things, and each of them by themselves, it's like, oh, that's not a big deal, but together, it just kind of takes you out of the experience. So.
One thing that's really bugged me actually, and it's sort of across the entirety of this whole season or show, I kind of don't like that they're really, really, really trying to push that Negan is the hero. I like him more as a bit of an anti-hero. And like,
Elaborate, keep going.
so something I noticed in the flashback is Simon says, what does he say? We don't kill children.
yeah,
that's
kids,
a line
that's the
we'd
line,
never
yeah.
cross, and everybody knows that. I'm like, no, that's not true. Negan was ready to kill Carl at Alexandria.
Was that a fake out?
No, he was going to do it. I'm convinced he was
The
going to do it.
writers have tried to retcon it a lot of times. So now the official thing, because Negan said it a bunch of times since, like, I would never kill a kid. But it's like, come on, guys. Like, we saw it in episode 16.
Exactly
Oh, is that
right,
where
yeah.
Shiva like then
Yeah,
jumped?
Yeah.
So like he
exactly.
would have. Like,
He was
Yeah.
about to do it. Plus, another thing is Negan didn't do it, but someone, like a savior, did. Hilltop. Jesus is telling Rick and the rest of the crew about the saviors. And
Oh, yeah.
a 16-year-old Rory had his head smashed in. Yeah. Wasn't Negan. They said someone who represented the boss.
So I
Yeah.
guess that you could say Simon or someone did it, or Croat, who knows?
Well, I did
But,
think initially, like, you could argue, the Croat did it because he's unhinged. But I don't see it. I really
Sure.
don't see it. I think it's just a contradiction. Like,
Yeah.
no, they did kill kids.
Yeah.
When the time called for it, they 100% did.
and Negan killed the whole. Damn, classic Negan.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
He's like a
I feel like he's
teenager.
old enough to be not quite a kid.
Maybe I thought he was just like a younger teenager. Anyway.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's bugging me. This
He had it
whole
coming,
he's really changed around, which is great. But he's the hero now. He's the good guy. All that stuff before was just an act. Like, nah, man, he was straight up horrible. He was really, really bad. Yes, he's turned over a new leaf, but he's more of an anti-hero now. I'd much prefer that.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, but can any of us say even slightly that we are the same people we were 7 years ago, even without a whole bunch of like reformation and everything? Like 7 years is a long time.
But that's
That's
different
a
to
fair
like
point.
defending your actions and say, "Oh, I was never like it was always an act," like versus
yes.
saying, "Yeah, I did some horrible things, but I've changed."
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Kinda, yeah. It just feels way too forced, the whole Negan's the hero. Like, no, like, I think he'd probably be more charismatic and more likable as the anti-hero.
Well, it's kind
Sure.
of what he was in episode 2, right? With the who's there situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which, to me, feels like the authentic Negan. Like, he is, at his core, he's a dude who does really horrible things. Now he's that guy on your side. Like, he's still someone who does despicable deeds. But, one, he's extremely charismatic, so you can't help but like him. But two, he's now on your side, so we don't hate his guts. The whole Negan's the good guy. Like, nah. It just, to me, it feels way too forced.
right. Right. I don't think he ever says that, though. I think we're supposed to start to think that ourselves. I think the most we've ever gotten is him saying, "I'm not a monster," or something like that. Or "I'm not the bad guy anymore," I think is one of his lines. Or something. But I don't think he's ever called himself a stand-up guy, or anyone even near him has said, "You know what, you're a better guy now, or you're a good guy now." I think...
That's not, yeah, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, it feels like they're trying to force that
Right.
onto us.
Okay. I don't feel that so much coming from the show, but all I know is there's just less of the despicable things.
I guess it's tricky with him being one of the two main characters as well. Like, you kind of have to go that way to some extent. Whereas, like, I feel like in the main show, when you've got a big ensemble, then it would be really cool. Like, they kind of had some little moments. They could have done it more. We've talked about that lots already. Like when he fights Beta, that sort of stuff. Like, there should be those moments where it's like, oh, they've unleashed Negan. What's going to happen? And it's kind of unpredictable because he's still kind of bad, but like, yeah, you don't know where it's going to go. Whereas I don't know if that necessarily works if he's the main character, because you've got to have some stability to it. But it's tricky. Hey?
I hear where you're coming from, but I actually think that probably would, for me anyways, made it more enjoyable.
Right, yeah.
Because you'd have
sure.
Maggie, who in the show forgave him initially and said, "You know what? I forgive you, but I'll never forget," or whatever she said, something to that extent. There's
Sure.
going to be days where I wake up and straight hate you. Like, it would have been interesting to then blend Maggie's stability with Negan's up and downness.
No, that's true.
I think that would have been quite entertaining.
Very true. Yeah, I like it. Okay, moving on to episode 5, stories we tell ourselves, and
Did not even notice that in old Pearlie's monologue where he says maybe that's just the stories we tell ourselves.
okay, yeah, there you go. Well, like you said just before, Isaac, like all this set dressing and stuff looks legit. All the walkers
Yeah.
lying around. There's a little rat as well. Brilliant.
Yeah, he's the rat.
So, yeah, I mean, the only thing with this that kind of stood out to me was just the logic of it, like as far as the walkers all waking up all of a sudden at one point, like, because we've got we know that in the universe there's some walkers who will be there asleep, and then when you make a noise they'll wake up, but it's kind of the logic of it definitely moves around a bit, and this one was probably the worst as far as they were there chatting, making a whole bunch of noise for like 10 minutes, and then suddenly out of nowhere they just wake up and start attacking them. So bunch of stuff like that where it's just in a zombie show you should be able to get the zombie logic right from the start and have suspenseful scenes where they don't just appear out of nowhere. But yeah,
Because that's kind of the logic you could say that they would have used. Like, they walked around, gave a couple of pokes. Yep, no one's waking up. Cool. That means we can sit with our backs to them and sit and rest and chat for a while. Because otherwise you'd say, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, how silly is this?
yeah.
But, with the universe logic that we already have, we're like, yep, cool, they haven't woken up. We've been making noise. And then all of a sudden they do again. So,
Yeah.
true. Confusing stuff. I have a note for right at the beginning.
Please go for it.
So I was predicting that Wish Shane / Billy Zane had been bitten in the previous episode, and he was for some reason covering up, like you have to in the universe.
Yeah, you
Never tell anyone that you've been bit. And he has this line where he's like, you know, if you feel dizzy, if your heart's going 100 miles an hour, if you feel a, you know, jackhammer in the back of your head, it's the methane, you know, all of that. And I thought that was going to be a setup later for when he starts to turn and they're like, oh, it's just the methane or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, it's like, or you've been bit. Like,
yeah.
Fake out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have been cool, actually. And so, no, the Billy Zane character from Titanic is the kind of person who definitely would hide a zombie bite.
Mm,
There you go.
for some reason.
What's his name? You would
In the
know that,
movie?
like- Yeah, in the movie.
Cal.
Cal, that's it. Good old Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned it before, Isaac, but all the cinematography has been really cool. I've been liking it.
On and off in this episode. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There was one thing I meant, in this scene here. So you spot it in quite a few scenes once you've noticed it, for me at least, but that they've got the whited out windows, which, it's fair enough. You don't really think about it. You just figure it's bright outside and the windows are so dusty that you can't see any details through it. And then it's obviously a good way to save money on the budget because you just have to set up a white sheet and a big bunch of bright lights. But then Negan opens the door and looks out, and that for me kind of broke the immersion a bit because then it's just white outside, like he's going out to heaven. And it's I don't know, like you could explain it away, but it just looks a bit too funny to me and gives it away a bit.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. Good spot.
I hope heaven isn't all glary like that. I'll be squinting and
Need sunglasses.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very random side tangent, but I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean behind the scenes, and apparently Johnny Depp has like sunglass contact lenses because he's always wearing sunnies anyway. And then for when he's obviously on camera, he doesn't want to be squinting when they're out filming on the ocean.
you can do that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Me neither.
Wow.
Should look into that. They're probably really expensive.
That's awesome.
All right, where are we going from here? We got a big pile of fat.
Oozing mess. My note was maybe don't touch it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's this? Oh, yuck. Like, what did you think?
I didn't think it'd be yuck. The whole methane thing and Maggie, being dizzy and all the, it kind of goes in and out with that throughout the episode. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? For me, it just didn't really go anywhere. I don't know why. It felt like it was supposed to be leading somewhere to a certain moment, but it's like, oh no, she just was a bit dizzy for some scenes.
Yeah.
Because she gets offered the oxygen tanks and she's all skeptical of Billy Zane.
Yeah.
And then she goes, and then they have that whole confrontation about, no, you're the rat. You're the one that did all this. Okay, cool. We got that out the way. You're a jerk. Now accept the oxygen. Like, why do you then continue to go through the whole tunnel? Never
Sure.
once. Even when you fall and faint and he offers you some and you still go, no.
Yeah. Even when he's died and there's 2 oxygen tanks.
I just didn't understand. Like, you're stubborn. I get it. You don't want to accept help. But so you're going to stagger around and fall and probably die down here otherwise. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was the same. I thought that was a bit odd.
Sure. Yeah. Just
Bad writing.
maybe on rewatch there'll be a reason for it, but it just felt pointless, I guess, is the main thing.
Mm-hmm. All these scenes outside, I thought beautifully lit. It's everything that I like to see.
Yeah, nice sunny day.
Cool entrance into the building. Thanks, Ben.
It's just so funny. Like, I don't know, because I've been on a film set the last week. You can just see like how they've shot it, that they've got like 2 or 3 angles to work with, and they've just like cut the scene together in a really clunky way.
Yeah.
Like this shot of all the zombies coming towards the camera, they did that, and then the wide shot, and then the mid shot, and that's it. But yeah, what was with this entrance? That was kind of crazy, actually.
No, I'll say again. It was a cool entrance.
I see what you did there. Took
yeah.
me a moment.
Smooth.
Through the refrigerator, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, is that a thing? I mean, it doesn't lead anywhere. Like, is that something someone set up after the apocalypse?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just use the door?
Dunno.
Fair enough.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Well, they see this freaking creepy, like, mosaic.
Oh yeah, did that go anywhere?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Scared the heck out of me.
Yeah, you didn't like that at all, did you?
Well, there's one thing everyone agrees upon is that babies are the most frightening thing in the whole world. Out of place.
Mm.
Baby in a pram, super cute. Baby in a pram in the woods at night. No.
That's a very good
no,
point.
no.
Yeah.
No,
You
no.
do make a compelling point. But these are, well, like I said in the episode, why? It's a plastic. So.
No, it's something twisted. I don't like looking at it. Hey,
Yeah,
it's,
no, it is weird.
it's just a creepy image, and it takes
Sure.
a weird mind to do something like that.
Sure. Yeah. So either the showrunners themselves have weird minds, or they're good at writing for people who do.
Because in that whole scene next to it, you have the dude who like committed suicide by like having an axe swing and hit him in the face. And
Ugh.
I don't know. So he's rigged some kind of weighted contraption that when he pulls the cord, the axe swings down and hits him. He was drunk at the time. You see all like the bottles next to him, and the whole thing is very gruesome.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
but you get to the end of it, like, I don't know, maybe we missed something, or I don't know if you guys picked up, but it just does make you ask, like, okay, what was the point of any of that?
Yeah.
What did it add to the story?
Zilch.
Because then Negan like grabs the walker and like throws it at Pearlie and goes to make an escape. You know, the door gets ripped off because Pearlie like shoots the gun and all of that. And then like everything's fine again, like nothing's happened. Like, I
Yeah.
guess I'll help you and all that.
Yeah.
All of that was just a bit ridiculous. Like, he had so many opportunities to make a getaway, rather than, I just need to, there's my opportunity. A zombie. I'm going to throw it at him. He had so many chances. And then the gun thingo hitting the thing and that being able to
It
rip
rips
wall
the whole
off.
door off.
Come on, man.
Oh, dear. Yeah, don't open dead outside. Nice little touch. But,
Except this one says do not open,
oh, right.
which I think was their way of getting around the, or maybe,
Yeah, do not
Do
open
not
dead
open.
outside.
yeah,
There we
do
go.
open, not dead outside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've got a few other things, but have you got some notes, Isaac?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, thanks for taking the effort and always writing these. It definitely helps.
Yeah, this happened twice in the episode. Someone doesn't like someone else, and so walking past, they get shouldered, you know, as they walk out the way. I've never done that to someone, but I want to.
Right.
It just
right.
feels like such a, like, I'm walking away, this is me getting the last kind of word in or whatever, and you just,
Yeah.
like, shoulder someone, and, like, I don't know, it's like a slap in the face. It's a power move. It's a... Yeah, I'm not talking to you, and this is how I voice my frustration, just by shouldering you. Maggie does it to Negan, and then later on, some lady does it to the
Yeah,
Crower.
yeah, true.
No idea why.
Yeah, well, maybe I hope for your sake that one day you get the opportunity to do that properly. I mean, you can do it to us after the episode if you want, but it's not the same as someone
Are
who
you
is-
kidding me? I'll, like, bounce off Liam. He's just going to sit there, and I'll look even more silly.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll move.
Please just turn the
Put-
shoulder
put,
out.
put
a
the
little
helmet
bit.
on first. That'll help.
Headbutt
That's
my shoulder.
a bonus for the listeners who stay to the end now. We've moved it around a bit.
Mm. There's an
Well-
absolutely beautiful shot of the school bus before they get into it. That's my, like...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we didn't do highlights of last episode.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Okay.
that's my highlight of this episode. There's just like a, like, color graded just to perfection. It looks like something out of like a Christopher Nolan movie. Like, it's just such an epic shot, and it's just such a simple shot.
Sure.
I just like, you need more of those. Just like simple establishing
Yeah.
in clear, crisp vision. I understand why you're hovering over this. I'll let you talk about this.
No. We'll come. I'll find that specific shot, but
Yeah. I wish they knew why these particular shots worked so well and then just replicated
Yeah.
it through the show.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good point. One random thought as well from last episode I just remembered was when they have to do the fake out Herschel death. They like find him in, or they
Ah.
find someone who looks like Herschel, and it's all right. But I guess this is a challenge when you're working with a show that's gone on for so long. But they've already done this. It feels like so many times. At the very least, they did it with Glenn on the bus in season 4. and especially because that was Maggie looking for someone and finding a walker that looks just like them, and then it lifts its head up and you find out that it's not. It's like, we've seen this before. Like, sort of, it's a bit old, but
Well, this is one of the good examples of where Negan has that tiny bit of dialogue and says, it's not him.
oh,
Don't worry,
true,
it's not
true.
him."
That was good.
And so I'm like, great, thank you. Something we're all thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. No, very
So
good
we don't
point.
have to wonder even for a moment if it's actually Herschel and we don't quite get it yet. It's not him.
Haven't seen it properly.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Well, we definitely have to have the volume up for this bit. This is when the Crower, his CGI car drives up and splatters a walker, and then he's just sitting in his car and he does this. And it can only be compared to our favorite movie, Toy Story. Let's play this here.
It's exactly the same. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Spot on. That has to have been the brief he was given on the day or something.
Think Woody being
Yeah,
Bernard.
just channel that Tom Hanks energy.
It's almost a shame that you say CGI car because if you scroll back like 20 seconds, there's a shot right there.
This shot was alright. It was more so just the drone overhead shot.
I really wish. Oh yeah, that
The
was
way it
terrible.
turns
Yeah,
there.
this one here where you've got a walker coming out, and then I was like, again, beautiful shot. Look at how like the
Sure.
color is everything's popping.
Yeah.
And I was like, keep on it, keep on it, keep on it, and then they cut to him on the inside. I went, that's a
Sure.
shame. Now they're gonna do a CGI thing. I wished so badly that you could have just done like 2 takes of him walking out, then the car going all the way through, continuing,
Yeah.
and then another take of him like going over the hood or something. Like,
True.
make it look as real as possible, as visceral as possible, and not just give us like a gory blood splatter. Do you see how you could have like composited one over the
Sure.
other?
Yeah. No. Of course.
It's like on a tripod and everything. So
Yeah. Would have been pretty easy.
yeah, but I exactly see.
There is,
Shaka.
although if you even in that second shot, there's a tiny part of me that thinks it might be CGI. I don't think it is, but because of the lighting, the way the sun's coming straight down, like look at it at the start here. It kind of looks like almost a video game, like the way it turns.
Yeah.
Something about it doesn't look right, and then when it
Yeah.
gets a bit closer, it looks okay. Before it cuts away and splatters him.
You could be very, very right there.
Yeah, I think you're on the money.
It's just when you came straight from the drone shot where it was obviously fake, and then to that where it looked kind of weird as well.
And why? Yeah, sorry. Why did you have to have a CGI shot of the car doing a turn like that? You could have cut straight to this walker coming up, and then along comes a car and smashes.
Sure, yeah, true.
So like just another example of like this showed. I don't know how much that shot cost of the CGI thing, but I know it cost something,
Yeah.
and you definitely didn't need it, and it cheapens your show.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh dear. Yeah.
one more time.
Okay, alright, 1 sec.
I got the audio here if you want. It even has like a ah!
Too good.
And like, what's with the like emo cap that he's wearing to hide his ear?
Budget. Like, you know what? We can't afford to do the makeup on your ear. We're just going to sticky tape it down and chuck a cap over it.
Right. I was a bit self-conscious about it, didn't want to.
Yeah,
You
it's
would
probably
be,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, my first instinct was to go, oh, budget related.
I mean, it could be both, I guess. That would be kind of a creative way to save some money.
But like, you know, they make beanies, like every beanie ever that goes over both your ears. So you could just put
Yeah.
on a regular
Yeah,
beanie.
make it less obvious.
Yeah.
True. That's a very good point.
Or keep the motorbike helmet on.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
See, it works everywhere.
This whole thing, I don't know what's going on.
No.
There's a guy playing Everything Goes on the piano, and then there's,
Oh, was he?
I think so. Let's go back.
Give us a few bucks.
Well, I mean, he was playing it so badly you would hardly recognize it, but Yeah, he's doing it so badly. It'd be very fair not to recognize
I
it.
prefer the Willie Scott version.
Yeah. Well, that's in like Chinese or something, isn't it?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, there's got this lady
So
listening to artsy music. I don't know. What were you gonna
So
say?
if this is like a desperate attempt for us to be like, oh, you thought the Kraut was the big bad guy? No, he answers to this lady who's like, I don't know, his wife or his whatever, or
Yeah.
clearly she has disdain for him and he's just like groveling to her, trying to like, look, I've done this thing and Negan's here and also Negan
yeah.
is here. Well, I think this time, could you find the bit where he says it? Because I don't know if he actually, again, says now Negan is on the island.
Why are you torturing me?
I thought that was him for a second.
It went well. My informant delivers. The threat has been neutralized. And also, Negan is on the island.
It's a mixture
A
of the
little
two.
bit different every time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not even at the point of thinking too much about this. Hey, it's just
Not
like
yet.
almost makes you mentally just check out.
Yep.
If not for the scene right at the end, I would have been a lot more displeased with this scene because the whole thing is like the whole purpose of all of this was for us to get Negan here. And then I'm asking more questions like how the heck did they know that by kidnapping Herschel that Maggie would get Negan and bring him over here, that he would agree to it and all of those things. Like it just seems like so many things to go wrong along the way. But then, yeah, the scene we see at the end with the Croat giving Maggie the sheet of paper and pretty much being like, yeah, you
Yeah.
do that and everything. So, yeah, I don't know who this lady is. I don't know why it's important. He, like, kisses her hand and everything at the end and she, like, strokes his head. So, who knows? But, yeah, look at this shot of the bus.
That's a really nice
It is
shot
really
of the
nice.
bus. Yeah. Christopher Nolan-y.
Doesn't it? You can see the Joker popping out of
Yeah,
there.
100%. Yeah, it's just like we've talked about this already lots in the first episode, especially. But like all that stuff, yeah, with him kissing her hand or like whatever's going on there, that I don't see how that's appealing to fans of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like that, like who's sitting there in the writing room saying, "Oh, this seems like something that people who find the zombie apocalypse and survival interesting." They'll love this. It's just, yeah. I don't get it. I don't get why it's there, who they think's going to find it interesting or cool.
Yeah.
Some guy playing piano, everything goes really weirdly. Like
I kind of liked that as far as like the disarray of it all. That
Sure.
probably all drunk and whatever, and
yeah.
they run the city. It's,
Mm.
I don't know if you've ever like been on stage after like a big show or anything where it's like you're not supposed to be up on the stage, but you feel like you can do anything while you're up there.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if he's on the piano, he's badly playing and he's just having a blast and everything. So it's like they feel safe enough to be their silly selves inside of that space because they're, safe from all the walkers and all of that. So
Yeah.
I'm
that's
really searching here, but
fair. Yeah. You can absolutely justify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it just comes back to that thing. Like you can justify the logic of why something's there, but it doesn't mean it's cool or that it's appealing to
Yeah.
watch. Yeah, well, we're pretty much at the end, just scrubbing through here. Oh, of course, we got our big boss battle thing, which
Rat King.
yeah, keen to hear your thoughts on first, Isaac.
well, first of all, she steps through the rib cage of some form of thing, makes this big crunch noise, and it was the biggest ew I've felt in a long time.
Really?
And you guys didn't even blink. It's like, do you feel nothing? Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
but then out stomps this thing. I don't know what the heck.
Mm.
What do we think this was?
I mean, Liam, why don't you give us some context as far as the Rat King from Last of Us, it would be hard to argue that this isn't copying that.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of infected zombies all sort of meshed together to create one big zombie, really.
All the little zombies meshed together.
Well, I think you were explaining it to me last time because I didn't realize like where the name Rat King came from.
Yeah,
It's to do with rats in the sewer, isn't it?
yeah, something like that. Just like when they had big infestations and they would pile on top of each other. I think it's the sort of thing that might be more of an urban legend, but they've found like 1 or 2 fossils of like a whole bunch of rats, like 50 rats or something with their tails all tied together in a knot to the point where they're just this big clump and all kind of move as one because they were all climbing on top of each other and got knotted up. So I guess that's same here, the kind of idea where they've just been lying on top of each other, rotting for so long that they've kind of morphed together.
Yeah.
Right. Because you want to talk about budget, costuming, and like design. Oh, this thing looks so real. It looks
looks
scary. It
legit.
looks, yeah.
Yeah, and in the logic of it, like they're all moving independently and their arms are just kind of going all over the place, but there's one who's kind of
The biggest,
leading the
strongest
way.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like for me, this scene didn't do too much. I
No.
guess it felt like a bit of. It was a cool idea, but it was literally just it stood up and it fell on her, and then she stabbed it. Like, and especially the whole thing of saying like, "Ginny, run, run! There's this crazy monster here." It's like, what? You've just killed like 50 walkers.
Yeah.
It's just another one. Just go stab it. It's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal. Yeah, so that was the main thing, I guess, that it just wasn't really that much of a threat, but it was treated as something. At least it's creative. It's something different.
Oh yeah, yeah. They all look so real, and like you've got all these smaller heads like bursting through, and it's like, wow, how many of these do I have to stab, and it's still coming at me? And
Sure.
and then you've got the added one at the end, which I also sneezed at.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, where is it? It reminded me of in Indiana Jones when like that mummy pops up. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh no, not the mummy, the one on the spikes.
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
start.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so I guess like I don't know if I can necessarily even pitch something better to do with it, but like in Last of Us, that's a big boss battle, and it's a thing that's really hard to take down, and it's this huge thing. Like you can't just run up and stab it because it's
If
5 times bigger than you.
If I could offer an alternative,
Sure, yeah.
Dead Island is a video game. They've been like the best zombie game for a while. They've got like, I forget, maybe they're called brutes or something, which are like taller, like 6-7 foot zombies, which are like harder to kill. They're much stronger. They're a lot more dangerous. Would it have been awesome if you introduced this freak of nature earlier on while they're in the tunnels, and up it stands, towers above them, they're so freaked out by this thing, but they have no choice but to run. And so then effectively they're running from it for the whole episode. Like, you're in the tunnels, and then you hear the thing coming closer, and then all of a sudden it bursts through like a pile of the bodies, grabs one of them, and then they're done for. And then so it's just like this, let's be really afraid of these things lurking in these tunnels.
Yeah.
And less about just clearing them out. And then you have this final showdown at the end where more heads start popping out through the chest. And it's even worse than you imagined. And yeah, I think it could have been cooler to have it just like be revealed earlier and be stomping around, and they're constantly running from it. And
yeah.
Or better, yeah, because they've got 2 characters they killed down in the sewers anyway. Why not make that Discount Shane Billy Zane's big death? Like he goes up to her, he's like, oh yeah, it's just another walker, and then another arm pops out and grabs him, and the head comes through. That could be then it'd be like, whoa, that's a crazy death and like this big scary thing, and then Maggie can still show down with it afterwards. But just something that packs a little bit more of a punch rather than it's just another walker that you just have to stab in the head and it falls on top of it. It's creative.
So much better.
and he's wearing a motorcycle helmet.
Yes, that's it. And missing an ear. Oh yeah, the whole thing where she sees the word liar painted at the end of I really thought they were gonna then flash back to old Herschel getting his head cut off, because that's what the governor says just before he does that. I guess in the logic of reality, she wouldn't have heard that because he like whispered it. Only the audience knows he said that. But yeah, could have been something because they already flashed back to her other past traumas. So
Oh, yeah, true. We saw Glenn getting bonked again.
yeah, again.
Again.
So that could be almost like the climax of the whole methane thing, is that it's then bringing up all these memories as she's kind of going in and out of consciousness, and this final thing, I don't know, something along those lines.
I'm like that we finally so this show I think has been really tricky with as far as giving us confusing things and being like, don't worry about it,
Yeah.
like we'll explain it later, and we're holding on to these things going, I hope you explain it because so yeah, the shot of the grain inside of this silo, we had a shot of her looking at it, I think at the end of episode 1 maybe, before riding away, and we're like, why did you stop to look at that? And then we never saw anything. So she sees that the grain is still inside the silo, so Maggie's lied about it being stolen.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I pulled together from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because we've just had the Maggie telling her, Ginny, yeah, our stuff's gone, my son's Herschel, he's all of that, so.
Yeah, it took everything.
I've lost everything.
10 points. There you go. Very good.
I had one earlier, I don't know if you heard it.
Oh, which one?
With the blast shield down, I can't even
Oh,
see.
yeah,
Oh.
of course.
There you go.
Very nice.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got one more episode, so we'll see what threads they tie up if they manage to pull it all together. Yeah, I mean, I get, especially with the twist in this one showing that he wanted Negan all along. That's why she roped him along. Why they didn't show us as much backstory at the start, but still, I think you could have. It might have been a bit cheap, but you very could have easily still done it and just skipped over that those few seconds where he holds up the bit of paper. And then you flash back to it and show that's what actually happened. And so that, again, seems like a budget thing where they just wanted to film it at night with a single light source and hide the background so you don't have to pay for it. But it's like a Western. That's what gets you invested in any Western. Right at the start, you see the bad guys roll into the saloon, kill someone and do something horrible. And then the whole movie, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see the cowboy come in and get revenge and kick him out of town, whatever it is. That you got to have something right at the start that makes you really hate them. But this kind of it took a long time to get there, and by now it's hard to be emotionally invested in it.
That's like the exact opening of Toy Story as well, with One-Eyed Bart.
Yeah, there you go. Set up and pay off straight away.
Exactly.
Cool. What have you got? Any other notes?
2 more. So
Yeah,
there's
cool.
a spinning shot inside the tunnel when Maggie's crawling along.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
really tripping on methane at this point. And I've been kind of tired of all of these like upside down spinning around shots. But this one in particular, especially because the camera shot is inside this like tube, it actually makes kind of sense. It's like she's in a little washing machine or something. But yeah, she's kind of falling in and out of memories, if you will.
Sure.
And then one other one, it's becoming a pet peeve of mine, I'm afraid. Please stop shining the torches into the camera. Stop doing it. It hurts my eyes every time.
Yeah.
All of these in the tunnel scenes or at nighttime scenes, we've got people with torches. Great. They need torches to see. But you don't need to like do the whole artistic thing where you point it into the camera and then we get all these blue glow rings flare into the camera as well. It's been done too many times. It hurts. It's not fun. Stop it, please.
Very good point.
Yeah.
No, I'm on board with that.
Too.
So many shows do it and just...
That was fun at the start of this episode as well when Billy Zane and the girl are talking and he's like right in her face with his torch. And for us as the viewers, we were going, oh, wow, that's bright, like on the TV, but he's literally shining it right in her face. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, get that out of my face, man. But it's obviously for the lighting of the scene.
I don't think red light is
Internally.
as bad, is it?
Where is it? You know what she's saying internally.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, whoa! Stop it!
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably still not nice to have it shining right in
Oh,
your
yeah.
eyes, but it doesn't make your pupils dilate, at least.
Hmm.
So that's something. Well, I think that's been us. Have you guys got any last thoughts?
No.
Any highlights from either of you boys?
I mean, definitely the Woody scream was a highlight. But
Do it again.
yeah, all right.
Absolutely.
5 points if you can guess which one that was, if it was Woody or Croat. Yeah, so highlights. You guys go first.
I had the school bus.
Okay. Oh, school. Oh, you already did
Mine
that. Yeah.
would be the interior of the school bus.
No.
Oh.
I have no highlight then.
I just can't think of too much else but the Simon flashback. Like, it was just nice to see Simon, I guess, even though it didn't have much substance. Well, I mean, just a little thing to tie it back into that universe, remind you, rather than just people talking about it. It looks like the legit set and everything. So, yeah,
Ooh.
that was something.
I actually have one other talking point.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, this is in no way related, but I don't think we've ever talked about it on this show. Something actually from Walking Dead.
Okay.
Ben will tell me the episode, the title, the minute that it
Sure.
plays out. There is a scene in the Savior's compound in Sanctuary. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where there's a whole bunch of people like inside there who are not like militia. They're just people inside there, and they're saying like, "Oh, we need food. We're hungry, and we need all of these things." And then Negan comes along and says something like, "We're gonna do these things. We're gonna do all of that." In front of someone else. I think it's like maybe
Gabriel.
Is it Gabriel? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And then one of the ladies says, "Thank
Thank
God,
God for you." Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't think we've talked about. So if we're saying that Negan is this monster and he's done all these despicable things, very true, and yet he does achieve the one of the many things that he set out to do, which is protect people. People are our most important resource, eliminate threats and all of that. But you've got these people who very well depend on the saviors and actually say things like, "Thank God for you. Like, what would we do without you?"
Sure.
And you can tell she meant it as well. It wasn't just something she was saying. So, yeah, I think that has something to it. These people, brainwashed or whatever, or they've bought into that Negan is doing this for the right reasons and it's necessary. And
Yeah.
I would argue against it.
please.
Well, you hear Negan talking to Daryl when he's trying to convince him to join him. It's like, you can work for me on the gates, like as a dead man. You're still part of the crew then.
Yeah.
You can work for points, but you're going to wish you were dead.
Huh.
Or you can be part of the militia or whatever and live like a king. So like that in itself just says like that environment, the people in there are probably in a position where we go, this sucks, but it's better than being out there with the rest of the zombies. Are they grateful for the stuff they get? Probably. But it's from a perspective of this is much better than the death that's out that door.
Right.
That would be my guess and my argument.
I guess that, like that lady, there would be enough scared, timid people who just who just can't like deal with the stress of the outside world, who just need someone to tell them what to do and give them a structure to live in, and they just all they want to do is follow orders and be fed. So I guess there would be people like that, and they'd be the families of the people who have to do the work sometimes. But yeah, no, there is something to be said for that.
What
But,
episode is that?
Season 8, episode 5, The Big Scary You.
That's crazy.
The
So
big
crazy.
scary.
Uncertainty.
That's my
Pretty sure
favorite
that's
as
what
well.
it
Like
is.
you have Gregory saying like, "I need to speak to Negan," and then Simon's like, "I'm Negan." He's like, "Yes, but yeah."
Classic. All right, well, I think that's been us. We do have a little bonus segment to go after this, but we're going to sign off first. That's kind of if you want to stick around and learn about motorcycle helmets, because motorbike, is that more Australian?
Either.
Yeah, either either. Yes, because we talked about that in episode 2, whether there would be a legitimate defense way to keep yourself safe. So find out by sticking around. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in. I've been Ben.
I am Liam.
And I am always Isaac.
And at least until next week, while we're still in New York, just keep walking here.
Just keep walking.
Cool. All right. Well, you've brought in something, Liam. Do you
I
wanna
did.
Show us.
I have brought in a helmet.
All right.
So,
You see that?
for you avid listeners who recalled episode 2, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Where we were
Yeah.
discussing said helmet practicality. Like, well, I'll bring in a helmet and y'all can try it on and just tell me what it feels like to try and wobble your head around, or if
Okay.
someone like bumps it, how it feels. Do
So
we
this
have any?
is for the debate as to whether or not a helmet's a good idea in the zombie apocalypse, right?
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on the context. So
Okay.
against like zombies, I think it's probably great because it's armored, you're protected. But if you're up against people,
Okay,
you're not.
do we have weapons in here that we can...
Don't break it.
All right, I'll go first then. If you
supposed
want.
to be protective. All right, so Ben is now standing up and putting the helmet apparel on his noble brow. Here we go.
Is there a trick to it? Just shut it down.
You can shove it down. That one's modular. So that little red tab under the chin, if you
yes.
pull that button, the chin part will lift upwards and swing all the way
we go.
around.
But with the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
So I push it? Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Push it down and then sort of pull it outwards, and it should then swing up.
I feel like that wins organic Star Wars quote.
Yeah, I don't want to break it.
That's all right.
Oh.
Slide on a bit easier now.
Thank you very much.
So I feel like you could do dual mode then. You could have it all open for when you're just around suburban area, or maybe you've got like human foes.
You've got a bit more visibility if you do that,
Yeah.
but the weight of it is all still there.
Try and like duck and weave a bit, Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, but you lose that peripheral.
Yep.
Let me do this into the microphone. You lose that peripheral vision, hey?
Now, give yourself a slight knock with your knuckle.
That's loud as well.
Yes, see?
He looks like Judge Dredd. Look at him.
So imagine someone with not even a weapon, but someone like just slaps that.
Yeah.
The weight, like the volume of that through your ears is going to be pretty loud.
Sure, yeah.
But imagine,
Yeah, and just disorienting, hey?
yeah, but also if you move your head around and someone smacks it, how hard do you reckon it's going to be to keep your head stable?
Yeah, sure. It's a lot of weight. I feel like you'd break your neck easily if there was a lot of force whacking.
Can I
you.
offer a light knock on the side?
What are you offering?
Yeah,
You're
so
gonna give me
you're
a whack?
not
All right,
expecting it.
sure, Go for it.
We need
We need video for this now.
So Isaac is now standing up. He's pulling his pants up.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay,
I'm checking
you
his
know,
phone.
pull your pants up first.
Oh, we have video evidence now.
Oh no.
Something
Ladies and gentlemen, we have video evidence.
So here I am, an attacker. Coming
Oh,
at-
what's
oh,
he
I know what
got?
to do.
Microphone.
That's all right. Suppose I'm on my last attempt. All I got is my bare knuckle. I'm just gonna
That wasn't too bad, to be honest.
Oh.
You got to give it a bit more.
just a little bit. Brace. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that like it's not gonna kill you, but it's that just that shock and disorienting. Hey, where then you're gonna lose focus.
Enough
for a
that you'd
sec.
go, hey.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
So now that you're wearing that,
Yeah.
I feel like my
okay.
volume
I can't
is-
get it
Is
off. I
Isaac
can't
gonna
get it
give this a go?
Feel free if you want.
All right. All right. How do I flip this up?
That just slides up. Yeah. So pull it.
Oh, there we go.
So based on while you were wearing
Folded
that,
my ears
Yeah.
back.
what would you? How do you feel that would go if you were wearing that in the context of this show, Dead City?
So
That, like, those
great
people.
if you're gonna like charge through a swarm and you want that extra bit of protection. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be wandering around the streets because you wouldn't be able to hear stuff happening
Well,
as easily.
one thing that Ben didn't do was tighten the chin strap to help to keep it on his
okay.
noggin a bit better. I feel so foolish. Whoa, man. Look at this.
Grab the part behind you.
Hang on a second.
You might need to flip the visor up too if you want to do that. Just a touch. Yep. So the part behind you, that just pull it straight up. Eventually, it'll just sort of click out and swing around.
Is that like a...
No, there's only a button to pull it the other way. But that way, if you dig your fingers under it a little bit and just pull it up, it should just click out.
I don't want to break it. Hang on.
There you go.
Whoa, that was crazy. That was some Buzz Lightyear stuff.
Oh, wee. Ah, I see.
So
you
push
get
the
any
chin
kind
bar
of
back
audio?
now.
Huh?
Push the chin part back. Unless it's already back in.
I'm
So-
such a noob, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Can you hear my voice in the thing at all?
Yeah, we can hear it enough.
It's muffled, but yeah, you can hear it.
Okay. So that's one thing you got to take into account as well. If all of our helmets are on, can
Yeah.
we hear each other?
Run!
Yeah.
What? All right, well, Liam, have you still got the camera?
I do.
Okay, do you want to
Not actually.
film something? We're going to have to put this at the end of the episode, I think. A bonus.
All right, this is titled
All right,
Benjamin's
all right.
Revenge.
Here we go.
Into
I do
Benjamin.
have a bit more of a weapon this time.
Oh dear me. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm all.
There's a light tap.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
That
put
wasn't
put
very
that down. Use your hands. It's way louder than it is impactful. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
If someone were to come along with like an actual weapon of any kind, doesn't matter that I'm wearing this. Maybe it'll protect my brain from injury, but I'm going down.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
finished.
The weight of it alone will disorient, like, completely throw you, right?
Now to get this off.
There's a little tab under the thing. Just pull it and it will undo.
You make all these things sound so much easier than they are, Liam.
Honestly,
just-
that
just
one
press
is
it, just
very
pull it.
easy.
All right, so that one.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. And then one simply.
Very
You can,
simple.
if you
Rufus
want, there's a button under the chin. You can swing that around if that'll give you a little bit more room.
Oh,
And
look
then
at
just
that.
let it fall behind you. There you go.
That'll get the ears as well.
And then, yep, straight up now.
I
Or
wanna
you
flip
can,
my
there's
ears
a
up.
little bit of flex. You can pull a little bit and up you go.
Nice.
This sounds very silly to say, but I think I'd rather just have a bad motorcycle accident without a helmet on.
Wow. Well, there you go. Hopefully you've learnt something, listeners. I think we're definitely going to put this at the end of the episode as a bonus. But yeah, well, in that case, I hope you enjoyed the bonus content.
So this is they've also got like blades and stuff. Remember sticking
Oh
out,
yeah,
Yes.
true.
and the guy's like actively headbutting things. So
Yeah.
who
yeah, that yeah. If you imagine if you smash your head into something just to
And like, you know, bless him, Liam's keeping this thing in a nice, you know, protective sack and everything to avoid scratching. You
No.
go around headbutting
To
things.
avoid dust.
Oh, to avoid dust.
Oh,
Oh,
So
the
I can
dust.
see.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Fair.
Mm.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get dust in the helmet if you're banging things, and
yeah.
Well, like I think I mentioned on that episode, and I'll say it again. With the weight of that, it's uncomfortable moving your head around, right?
yeah.
Now, for someone to like, this is just foam and plastic predominantly. For someone to have a knife or a weapon of some sort stable enough to do damage like that, it's gonna be super heavy,
yeah,
ridiculously heavy, more so than what the helmet already is.
sure. Yeah, no, and even just like I said, moving your head around, it's not nice, not
No.
sustainable long term.
Nope.
There you go.
Lessons learned.
You do look cool though.
Yeah,
It's true. You do get style points.
it's got to count for something.
So there we go.